I've trained 148 men over the age of 40 to lose fat. And the biggest surprise that they experience is not the physical, like slimmer waist, broader shoulders, all the energy they have. They can run around after their kids without being out of breath. The biggest surprise they experience is how differently everyone treats them once they become lean. And if you're on this journey, you'll experience the same. Because I know two things for certain. One, you're overweight. Two, you have good intentions. And right now, you're living in a body you don't recognize anymore. You feel trapped in this body. And you've forgotten. You don't realize how good you can feel, how good your life can be. The core mistake is we think it's about vanity, about the abs. Park that right now. The body is a signal, and it speaks before you open your mouth. You're 18, you're in great shape. That's a given. You're 48, you're in great shape. You're a unicorn. This is a journey. The first step is do the scorecard. Link is below and also in the pinned comment. 3 minutes. You'll find out the one thing holding you back. Instant results. You may end up here like Colin, 46-year-old grandfather. Lost 9 kilos in 12 weeks. He can do it, so can you. Chris Pratt. He spent years auditioning to be the leading man, the action star. You know what happened? He ended up being the dopey boyfriend. Not because of who he is as a person, because of how he looks. Ended up being Andy Dwyer in Parks and Rec. He said, and I quote from The Independent in January 2026, "The more I morphed into slightly more clownish, fatter, sweatier, I was getting more laughs. But as soon as he started leaning out, he landed the leading roles. The big ones. Moneyball, Zero Dark 30, Guardians of the Galaxy. Same bloke, just leaner. So like it or not, you can be the nicest guy in the world. Society will treat you differently when you get lean. The mindset is the absolute key. In the back of your mind, if you're thinking, oh, my kids are young, I'm not sleeping much, or I'm too old, there's no hope for you. Because your kids can be the excuse why you don't exercise, or the reason why you do. So if you're saying, oh, right, well, look, it's easy for Chris Pratt. He's a movie star. It's easy for him. He's X, Y, Z. You're giving all your power away. I guarantee you, your wife married you for who you are, but also who you can be, your potential. I know it's hard. I've got 3 little kids, all under 5 at the moment. But if you got 2 arms, 2 legs, if God has put breath in your lungs, you can do this. Right, let's crack on. Picture the scene. The school gates, Monday morning. 2 dads pull up. One pulls up in a scratched up Ford Galaxy 2002. Bumpers hanging off. 1 hubcap's missing. There's empty crisp packets in the front seat. And the other dad pulls up in a brand new Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT. It's got V8 engine, 650 horsepower. It's got carbon fiber roof. It's an SUV, but it's built for the track. This thing is the mutt's nuts. It's the puppy's privates, the dog's bollocks. And your eyes go straight to it because you can't help it. That's in our nature to do that. And a lean body works the exact same way. In fact, it's discipline that's visible. And it commands respect instantly. Is it vanity? Depends who you ask. Some fellas will see a fancy car and they'll think, nah, look at him. How did he get that? Or maybe it's on higher purchase. Others will think, wow, fair play to him. What's that like to drive? It's cool. I wonder what he does for a living. Either way, he's not invisible. But just like a sports car, lean body is going to get attention, but not always good attention. And you have to be ready for that. People will judge you and project onto you. Some, especially parents, will think, wow, he's got kids. I got kids. I'd love to know how he does it. He must have loads of energy. I wish I had some of that energy. You know, I struggled with this. Maybe I should ask him for his advice. You become that person. Other parents will think, well, he must be a bad dad because he's in the gym all the time. He neglects his parents, his kids, and his parents maybe. He must be really vain. He must be on the gear. They don't say that about me because I'm not very big. And it's not because any of it's true. It's because it's easier than them looking in the mirror. So let them mock. The threatened ones will often never even say it to your face. Or they might mock you, but disguise it as banter. You know, they'll say like, oh, got your steps in today? Or eating health food now, are you? Because you're the unicorn. Or they might start saying, you'll notice as soon as they see you, oh, I've been meaning to get to the gym, or I'm definitely going to the gym next week. Bring up this type of thing, or, you know, I'm too busy. But whatever they say, it's a projection of how they're feeling. It's not you. And it's just information. So notice the information, register it, keep calm, and just carry on. You got to live on your terms. Like if you go out with colleagues, you go out with a client and they're drinking, but you have soda water, fizzy water, they might say, oh, you're not drinking? Do you say to them, oh, you're drinking? No, some people are sheep, some people are shepherds. Most people don't want to stand out. And especially if you've been overweight for a long time, you're so used to hiding yourself, making yourself invisible, wearing all black, crossing your arms over your belly. And then you start buying extra large shirts and think, oh, I'll just keep increasing the size of my clothes. Right? It's time to be the main character in your life. And in order to do this, you have to be firm and set boundaries with people. And this is outside and inside the home. So my wife and I have an agreement. And we've had this since we've been together. Every day for 30 minutes, we're allowed to do something for self-care. Could be a run, exercise, a workout, yoga, reading, whatever. But that is the agreement. Most fellas, married men, they got this backwards. They want to make everyone happy no matter what, apart from themselves. Let me give you a scenario. Sunday night, terrible night's sleep. I was up all night with our 2-year-old. And then 4:30 in the morning, our 4-year-old wakes up. 5:30, our 5-year-old wakes up. So I'm downstairs with 2 of our 3 kids, so my wife can get some sleep upstairs. I can't go to jiu-jitsu on my Monday morning. So when my wife wakes up, I say to her, look, I didn't get to go to jiu-jitsu. I hope you slept well, but I'm going to go for a run. Not can I go for a run? I'm going to go for a run. Was she happy? No. Does she respect me for sticking to my guns? Yes. I didn't want to go for a run either. But it happens because that's the boundary that's been set. And your children will notice this. Children will be what they see. So how do they see you? my dad's the strongest man in the whole wide world. Or my dad's the fattest man in the whole wide world. I'll tell you something heartbreaking. About a year ago, I was on a call with a dad and I asked him, why do you do this? Why do you do the scorecard? And he said he overheard a child say to his daughter, who was only 5 at the time, your dad's so fat. And that's the thing about kids. They'll often tell you what you don't want to hear. And sometimes it takes that punch in the gut for us to get a shoe up our ass. Now, on the other side of that, I've got another lad who was saying that his son will say they walk to school and now they started to occasionally jog a little bit to school. And he'd be like, oh, Dad, you're so fast. And he'd say to other kids, my dad's so fast at running. They're like he's a superhero. So that's the other side. But they notice, and you decide which way they see you. But don't leave it too late. Because right now you might be thinking, listen, Kev, man, if it gets that bad, my wife will say it to me. And then I'll start taking care of myself. Let me tell you this. When I first met my wife, I had big bushy hair. I was a bit of a hippie back then. And I'm a lot older than my wife. So my hair started to go grey at the sides. And one day I was watching Peaky Blinders and I thought, do you know what? I might get the old fade or whatever the kids are doing these days. So I got my hair cut as short as it is now, which I never had before. Didn't tell my wife. I got home. My wife says, wow, I love your hair. And she said it a few times that day. And then she kept saying it. The thing is, she never told me to go get my hair cut. Because women have loads of empathy, which is great. But sometimes that can spill over to be toxic empathy, where they never want to hurt your feelings. But deep down inside, they resent you for letting yourself go. That builds up over years and years and years. And it doesn't end well. And trust me, getting lean is a lot cheaper than getting a divorce. So stop hiding. Stop buying XL shirts. Stop wearing black. Stop staying invisible. The reality of most fellas watching this won't do a single thing. They'll stay comfortable. And they will accept slow decline. The question is, will you? Do the scorecard.